welcome back to Equestrian. Today's video is all about this guy and our journey together and a bit about his past. I've been getting a lot of questions about this and I've also just wanting to make a video, and I've finally gotten around to making one. It's a bit longer it's taken a lot longer to edit than my other videos, but yeah. This will also probably not be, it won't make sense as to my confidence in my writing until I do part 2, but this is going to be part 3 of my writing story. And then I've obviously already made part 1, I think that's still up. I had a wee thought of, I'll just delete it, but fingers crossed it's still up. Anyways, yeah, so that's all about today's video. We're going to do a little video about Rocky and my journey. So yeah, there's a horse in a pink coat. I don't know if Rocky's seen it, so I'm going to see you guys later. Into today's video. We don't know much about Rocky's past, but we have had him for 4 years, since March 2021. March 2021, we had just sold my pony Arwen, and were looking for a mother-daughter shear horse. I was 10 at the time when we came across his advert. All of this information is what I can remember, so it may not be accurate. Before we got him, he had a horrific accident where he scrambled in the float and cut his legs very badly. That is why he has scars all down the back of his legs. In the advert, he had Western gear, and we believed that one of the reasons for his back being so bad is from being ridden in a poorly fitted Western saddles. The advert stated he had been out of work for 3 or so years due to his floating accident. They did not say what happened to him and why it happened, but all we know is that he scrambled, which means freaked out, I believe, in the float. Which, that may not be exactly what happened, but that's what we were told. He was in a 100-acre field in Hamner for that time. They said he was being brought back into work for 3 weeks by a show jumper friend in Canterbury. He was only $2,000 as he had been out of work for so long. He is a 15-2 thoroughbred cross-court horse gelding, and he was around 16-17, but now he's around 20 years old. It was said that he was good to float on an angle float, but not so good in a straight loader. When we called, they said that we could view him the next day. We organised for my mum to go and view him that day, which was a Thursday. And if she liked him, I'd view him that Friday with my auntie Lisa. My mum came back from the viewing on Thursday and absolutely loved him, and so Friday I viewed him. At the time, I pretty much had no confidence and really forced myself to trot on him, because if I didn't, then we weren't getting him. So I did. I immediately fell in love with his slow, easy to post to trot. I was even trotting without someone leading me, which was a big step for someone who didn't want to walk without being led. I will go into more detail and do another video before Rocky, but I've had heaps of questions about his story, etc. So that's why I'm doing this. At one point, he tried to canter off with me and I didn't really know what to do, so apparently I just threw my hands up and tried to stop him like that, which he did listen, and we all agreed that was very good of him, as he could have easily just taken off with me. We had to decide that night if we were going to buy him, as there were people driving down from Lenham with a horse float the next day, and we're probably going to buy him. So we decided to, and the next Tuesday he arrived. That day he actually colicked, and we believe it was due to all the stress of moving down from Hamner to the show jumper place to our place. About almost the first year, I was just walking around on him in a paddock, as I felt he was safest there, which he doesn't change, no matter where he is ridden. But hey, whatever passed me. He started on the lead, and all my confidence was gone from the viewing. So as I was just walking, and he was meant to be a mother-daughter shear, my mum was also riding him, but he seemed to misbehave for her quite a lot. When she asked him to trot, he'd tuck his bum under, and he didn't feel safe and seemed worried. This is probably not true, but we think Rocky could sense my mum was sick. I have not talked about this on here, as I don't really want to, but We think he didn't want her to get hurt, as he was completely fine with me. So she would sometimes ride him, and like I said, I was just walking for most of the year. I did slowly progress with him to off the lead walking and on the lead trotting. I don't actually remember this, but apparently I had a massive meltdown because I was going to go around the track, but I freaked out. My dad was down there, and knowing how many problems we've had with other ponies, he said that he'd sell Rocky if I didn't stop. And I think that was one of the breaking points where I decided that we were going to do this. So that summer I was trotting for about 5 strides with my mum, which that's not much, but it's better than what I was doing in the winter. The next autumn, I felt I wasn't really going anywhere until one day I was riding in the paddock and my auntie Lisa came in. This was around March 2022 time, to give you an idea. I was following her around and we did some trotting, a lot more than what I'd been doing. The thing that I was most proud of was riding around the track without someone leading me that day. After that, I started to see some improvement in my confidence in riding. In May of 2022, to be exact, the 29th of May, we took Rocky to our first show. It was a little in-hand show, and as much as I had done lots with Kiwi, I was nervous. We weren't sure what he would be like in a show environment, and the last show I did was an in-hand show with Kiwi, and I'd been bowled over by a bigger horse after my classes, and I sprained my ankle quite badly and almost broke it. That left me quite nervous on the ground, and still to this day I sometimes get nervous loading Rocky on the float. That show went great, and we got first in our best trot, as the judge liked his floaty trot, and first in best trick, where I made him smile and follow me at liberty. I also got second best handle. After that show, I wanted to try canter riding. Then I was riding with Lisa, and after I'd ridden, my mum was going to ride him down the road for his first road ride with us. We cantered down the straight of the arena, and I'd been practicing one-rein stops and tried to do that. Let's just say I had no balance back then, and I fell off hard on my right shoulder. It hurt quite a lot, and later we would figure out that I had damaged or something had happened to my shoulder due to I had had my 11-year-old jams that Monday. I got up and just sat on the side of the arena, which today I find it hilarious as I sat there. He had his reins dangling over his head and he stood in the middle of the arena looking at me. I got back on and had a little walk around. That was around winter, and for my birthday I got some lessons with Pam Norton, who was a very good instructor. We found that the fall had definitely had an impact on my confidence, even though it wasn't his fault. She worked a lot in our walking and giving me exercises to help me calm down mainly and distract him from other things. He looks at them and stuff. After that, he was turned out for the winter. Once he was back in work, really started to improve with our trotting. And in the summer of 2022, my mum's health wasn't the best, and she was not able to ride or be down there as much. But she still gave me lessons and watched me ride, which I'm truly grateful that she did. Our confidence really grew. I was riding him bareback and even did some cantering again, even over some trotting poles. As it was coming into autumn 2023, I decided to canter in the jumps paddock and again turned him too tight and came out the side door. This time it didn't knock my confidence too much in our trotting, but still in canter. We were still showing progress. Me and Lisa took Rocky and her horse Dancer to Equestrian Centre, and that went awesome. I was so proud of Rocky, and although we didn't do much, I was so happy with our progress. Way back from the ride, me and Lisa decided that I should join the Equestrian group. It was not Pony Club, but it was like a riding group. They'd do something different for the club every month, and you could use the grounds whenever you wanted. We also took him to Banyan's Break, a lovely trekking area, and he loved it. He did rush off the float when we got there, but he was epic. The next ride we went out on was with the club, was a road ride. Before I continue, if you don't want to hear me describe the injuries or see the injuries, skip forward a bit. Yeah. and as I unloaded him, he rushed off where I wasn't under the bar. He pulled the rope out of my hand and went off the side of the ramp. At this stage, he did not have protective stuff for his legs or head, as we'd never had any horse like this. But I will always float horses with protective gear on from now on. The first thing we noticed was the cut on his leg. It was bleeding a little and looked a bit deep. As I came around to give him a pat on the head, as his leg was quite sore and he was holding it up, I saw a big cut just above his right eye. We knew immediately it was not good. Cut it on when he threw his head up, backing off and cut it open on the float. We got him on the float and we did the usual, got the vet out, they stitched his cut up. He had 6 stitches and he was out of work for 2 or 3 weeks. On the 29th of April 2023, my mum passed away. She played a massive part in my riding journey, and I would probably never have been riding horses if it wasn't for her. Rocky was just ticking over. We hadn't cantered since the last fall, and June 25th I had my last ride on him before he went on a 7-week break for winter. As I was about to bring Rocky back into work, I started AS Equestrian, the YouTube channel, and from the 10th of July everything is documented. So if you want to, go back and look at old videos. Everything from then on is documented. In October 2023, we took Rocky to cust again. This time, we were still part of the group, and it went very well. It was a club day, introducing horses to minis and carts, which it went awesome. We also took the boys over to my friend's place for a sleepover, which I vlogged the whole thing. I titled it The Pony Sleepover. We hiked down to the river and down the road. I also took Rocky for a road ride with my granny at our place, and as most of you should know, Rocky had ulcers through summer and was off for 2 months. 2024 we have really grown and are now cantering down the track, going over jumps, cantering down the road. We may not be competing, but we have certainly improved, and hopefully this year we will get his floating problems sorted out and start going out more and maybe doing some little shows. It's been a journey, and my confidence will make more sense once I make another video covering before we get Rocky. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I've been meaning to do this for ages, but have never gotten around to it. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for listening and watching today's video. Bye!